Hello and welcome back to the You Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? What's happening? How's the new home? How does it feel? We talked a little bit, to let the listeners behind the curtain, it's a lightning round, as you saw in the title. We just taped yesterday to get ahead because you're going to Italia.
I'm going to Italy. I'll be back by the time this comes out. Hopefully.
Quick jaunt to Italy.
I move there. Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's a dark direction. Hopefully, we could die any day.
You never know.
Right.
You know, that's my August mindset.
You never know what's going to happen on a trip to Italy. Fall down a mountain in Positano.
You never know. Mike could try to kill me there.
Right.
And now he's got the house off with me.
There's a life insurance policy. Yeah, cover the mortgage. I get it.
Right. But it's funny. Mike has really he's gotten into his man of the house kind of thing. I've never seen him attempt to be this handy before.
So he's really it's a life change.
For him, I mean, it's been a week, but but he's very into I would say he's a lot more involved and I felt like I was running the apartment.
Right.
Making sure, not that there's that much to run because you have a super or someone else to do it.
Right.
But I was the one and
using the phone in the apartment that's connected to the desk downstairs.
Exactly.
Hello? Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah.
He's just very on it. I'm into it because I'm great.
New
this
house,
can be
new man.
This can be your, maybe it's because there's a sense of ownership.
I think that's it.
I think that was probably it. Where
is he that way with his things? Is he caring with his things, or is he? I mean, that's who's not caring with their things. I think I'm a bit careless with my things. I'm not taking care of things and washing.
Well, we're disgusting.
That's true. We are fellow disgustings.
He is he's much more into taking care of his things than me. You know what? This reminded me of a video that popped up on my TikTok the other day about men. And it's sort of fucked up, I think, but it's an interesting concept because I was thinking about it when we moved into this house. And it was men like to take care of things that they own. And it's almost had to do with that. Maybe someone tagged me in this. That thing that I said where once he committed to me, he was fully in.
Right.
And there's a thing about once it's mine, and again I think that's kind of fucked up because it's I'm not a possession.
Right.
But it's sort of once you're in, once it's yours, then you're very invested.
Then you love it. You tend to it. It's your garden.
Right. And maybe that's sort of in the commitment realm of when a man is maybe when you're on the fence and you're not sure, there's less care, but then once you're in, you're in.
Right. That's where you come back to all the women who are my father was a good man who took care of his wife and family. It's he was a fuckboy too. It was when he dug in that he became the real him, the genuine him, you know? There's something. I mean, when you hear about people renting a car and being I can really fuck it up because I got the insurance, you're why would you do, why would you care to do that? But there are some people that are I can drive it to the ground. I don't know. Yeah, there's something like that.
There's some sort of psychology, I think, around that. Maybe it's for everyone. I don't know if it's men specific.
What has he done so far that has been what's the handiwork?
He's just so much more proactive. He's sweeping up the leaves off of the back.
He's a leaf sweeper.
He's just making.
He's turning into an 80-year-old man.
Yeah, he wants it to look nice. He's fixing little things that are going wrong. He's making lists of things to give to a real handyman.
He's going out there with scissors, trimming the lawn.
Yeah, I'm into it. I hope this isn't a phase because, I've been ready to start some fights about me doing everything, and he's not really given me the opportunity.
I love it. I'm happy for you. This is great. Yeah.
And I am happy for you. It is 2 weeks since your special has aired, and so while things may have died down, while by the time we're listening, I want you to know that we've been waiting, and the Betches and I have gotten you a gift.
Oh,
if you're
my
on YouTube,
God.
you can see it.
YouTube. Hermes.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
That's for you. It's a purse. No, it's not.
Is it one of those belts with the giant H?
It's not.
I'm a superhero?
It's not a belt with a giant H.
Let's see.
Why don't you open it up?
I'm going to open it on the air so that everyone can see. This is way too kind. Thank you.
Of
Thank
course.
you. This is
We're so proud of you.
I mean, hold on. You do a card. That's the receipt. Never mind.
Is it the full receipt or is it a gift receipt?
I'm hoping
I hope it's a gift receipt.
I'll look at the price later. Okay. Let's
And again, I apologize for my handwriting because I was I didn't pick up the card, but I did.
Love the card. Love
I have to
it.
say, the selection at CVS was, I thought, very embarrassing for them.
Well, the card looks like it looks like a society that's gone awry. The card aisle at CVS looks. Someone must have a bit about this. Where I hope I'm not hijacking someone's stand-up bit, but it's like
if you are, it means it's not that original,
right? Yeah. It looks like a desolate wasteland. Like it looks like a bomb went off there, and it is a. They're
so bad.
There's nothing there because it's not a business anymore.
But it should. I think people still get cards. You don't give a wedding gift in a paper bag.
Jordana, I am happy you brought this up. I have complained about this for so long because we are between generations of card givers and no card givers. So but we have no supply.
Who doesn't give a card?
I mean,
for like a gift, you would
I guess
check?
for a gift.
Or are you putting your check?
Now, right? But now there's only high-end cards. Like I had to send a wedding gift, and I had to find a card, but I did
papyrus or something.
I'm in papyrus,
and then you're spending like $20 on the card.
I need a mortgage. I gotta go. I gotta go apply for one to get a papyrus.
So I didn't really like this card that much, but there were slim pickings.
To describe it, it is a chipmunk. I
think so. A smiling chipmunk.
Smiling chipmunk.
It was either this or an engagement card. I'm so happy for you.
Okay. Your handwriting, by the way. People don't know this. If you were to be like, who has the nicer handwriting, they'd probably think you over me.
Yeah, I was hoping this wouldn't come up, but I knew it would because
It does kind of ruin the card to have a handwriting. It
is a little bit embarrassing. It has been described as, and again, no offense to this community, but stroke victim handwriting.
Right. Well, they're trying to come back from.
Yeah, you're learning. It looks like you're learning how to write again.
It does have that look to it. Should I read it?
Sure. Yeah.
Dear Jared. Dear Jared.
Dear Jared.
Okay. Congrats on 37 and single. Thank you. We could not be more excited for you, and we feel so lucky to be a part of something so special and hilarious. Here's to many more projects together in the future. We can't wait to continue to be part of what's to come. Love, Jordana, Sammy, and Aileen. P.S. We know you'll probably throw this card out, but hope you think of us next time you travel internationally to Fra and beyond. I'm touched. This is
of course, I'm glad you could read it. I was a little worried. You were like, what does this word say?
I'm always a pro. Oh my God. And I'm doing the big
reveal.
Coming.
An unboxing.
Ooh, this is for my passport?
Yes, it's a passport holder. Is there something else in there? Sammy told me.
Another receipt. No. How many receipts?
No. There was supposed to be a picture of your phone, like instead of your child's, and a feather.
Well, listen, this is wonderful.
I'm sorry. She said it was in there.
Is it? Oh, there is it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there is. Oh, okay, great.
It was so small.
Oh, it's in there. Okay.
Oh, my girlfriend, the phone.
Yes.
And the feather for feathering my nuts. I'll use this tonight.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you so much. This is, thank you.
Yes, so now you can show everyone who's important to you on your travels.
Absolutely. The most important thing in my life, person in my life, the phone. This is so nice. Thank you. This is amazing. I'm truly touched. I'm touched by it's almost embarrassing how nice people have been. And I know this comes out in 2 weeks, so maybe
Well, you're not in the business of extreme niceness, right?
No.
You're like a comedian, so I can see why it feels like it's almost like on your wedding day when it all feels like a little cheesy, I don't so much can we take it back a notch with all the love?
Right. And I don't I don't want to seem, and also I want to tell people how much I appreciate it because this is my life. Yes. It's not stand-up is me giving my opinion. There's no script. I move on from the special, but I don't move on from being a comedian, being myself. So it's the greatest compliment in the world. And when people are nice about it, I really mean the thank you. But I wanted to read a couple of the reviews that I've gotten from people.
Okay.
Because I do think stand-up comedy for the Betches audience, it's just they're not thought of. It is my opinion.
You're saying no one's doing stand-up for us.
For us.
Yes.
And for an audience, and what I mean by that is it usually generally men want to be the one to show you the comedian they know,
Right.
and they're going to sit you down and you got to see this guy, and I think it's so cool that you guys are doing the Betches Night Out where you're having female comics.
Yeah, come out
and do the show and comics of all backgrounds and being able to be like, hey, look at these funny people. And, I enjoy showing people like the comics I like and friends with and showing people that world. Like,
and you speak to our audience just like, so, you really get them.
I think the audience is normal people. Like, I don't know. This is kind of on the note of the messages I've been getting.
Okay.
This is an example of many examples. The special was hilarious, man. I've been a You Up listener for a while. Always tried to get my boyfriend to listen. We watched the special last night and he was crying, laughing, said he's finally sold and will tune into Betches. Much love, man. Congrats.
Love that.
Isn't that the hope?
And thank you for listening now that this guy is a listener, so I'm sure he's listening to this episode.
A personal welcome and hello to that guy, right? And it says... It's a proud moment because it's like we make things for adults.
Yes.
This podcast, an adult conversation. You might agree, you might disagree, you might find yourself somewhere in between. That's what it's all about. Like, and just, I'm not trying to make this too profound, but like the world today on social media, all you see is just rage, love, rage, hate. And it's nice to have people go, yeah, my boyfriend and I sat on the couch, had a laugh. We might have been able to talk about breakups or gender reveals or things that we never would have talked about. Mm-hmm. That feels good to me. That's like where I'm like truly touched, and like to see people come to shows and be like, this guy, I finally listened to me. I've gotten tons of messages like that. Like,
yeah, I mean, this is why you do it, right? To make people laugh, to make people feel like they feel seen.
That's it.
And that's really comedy at its best, is when people feel seen, or they feel like they're thinking something and they don't know how to say it out loud in a way that's like, true and funny.
Totally. And that's been my goal. It's hard in stand up especially. It's like, how do you get noticed? Mm-hmm. And so, there's a temptation to go extreme. There's a temptation to like, make people mad, which is not ever my goal. But like you go, what's the bit that'll get someone to go choose you, so to speak? And it's like, it's like a message like that. You're like, no, this is feel seen, speak for the, the people that are just trying to go to work and make money and buy a home and fuck, it's just all good stuff. And it means a lot that everyone who's watched it and shared it and can't thank you enough. And it's been a dream, the last, couple days. I mean, it's been a dream since hearing that we're going to do this.
Yeah. But to see it happen, I know you were a little nervous.
I was nervous. Also like my stand-up, I do so many things with podcasts and stuff. When someone, stand-up is like this like thing that like it's my baby.
Right.
And you go, if you held your baby up to a crowd, it was like, tell me what you think. You'd be
and
like,
and they don't have to say it, but they don't have to say it to your face.
Right.
Like, tell me what you think,
a little
my
ugly. My baby's cuter. I've seen cuter. Yeah. I just, it's a real great pleasure.
Mike and I watched it again last night. It was incredible.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
It's great to see the credits and your parents.
My parents are out of control. My mom, they forward me the emails. My dad forwarded me an email. There's a guy in his community. My parents, like, my dad's like a face-to-face bragger about his kids.
Did he tell you he was proud?
No, he still has it. He said, no, he said all nice things, but my dad isn't the one to like email 1,000 people to be like, my son. I don't think he is. Okay. Maybe he's not showing me.
My dad is.
Is he?
Yeah,
he's an emailer.
Yeah, the mass email of like, and for every tiny accomplishment that I've ever had,
that's really funny.
But your dad isn't.
I wasn't sure if it was a type or not. Now I know it's a type because I saw this email from. He sends me a forwarded message, and it's like a guy in their community. And it's just titled "Good Stuff" in big capital letters.
Wow.
Good stuff. just saw Jared's
That's such
premiere
a
on
old man
Netflix. It's such an old man email. And not to say this is a nice guy. This is like one of my parents' friends.
Older man.
Jared is the son of Kim and Jerry, a great friend and neighbor to us all. He is hilarious. It's a must-see. Make sure you give it a check if you like it. And he signs
Your dad wrote this.
This is my dad's friend.
Oh, wow.
And he signed it with his nickname, Chief.
Wow.
Is that not the most dad email to a bunch of other dads?
That's incredible.
Incredible. And then my dad forwards it to me and my brother.
What was your dad's original message?
There was no, this is the original.
Okay. This guy sent it out.
This is an email dad.
Wow.
My dad's not an email dad.
It's not even about, like, it was about you, not even about his son. Wow.
He sent it on his behalf. He's like, Jerry won't do this, so I will.
I'm Jared's real father.
Right.
Okay.
This guy, I need this dad in my life. My dad's like, why don't you lose some weight? You know, like this guy, he's all, and it's so funny because he forwarded this to me and then he writes, and it's funny to hear like your parents' worldview versus ours. Like we have a view of social media. We're in tune with social media in a certain way.
Right.
They have no in tune of like how many people, you know, if you get 1,000 likes on a post, you know what that feels like.
Right. They don't know what that means.
My dad writes, he forwards it and he goes, he sent it to 244 people. Like, wow, we're going viral.
More people than you've ever met.
In my life. So it was, so like stuff like that is just happening and hilarious. And yeah, I mean, if you're out there and you want to
Next time you go to Boca, you just better bring sunglasses.
I better be nice to everyone. You see Jared? He's big Hollywood now. Yeah.
That's what we say about you as soon as you leave here.
Well, I walked in the other day also, and everyone started clapping.
Oh, wow.
Because it was on the TV, and I was so embarrassed. I mean, I didn't relish that. But then I walked in today, I was like, what? No clapping? What's the deal, bitches?
Thing.
Yeah. But if you want to come see stand-up on the road, stand-up that'll make you connect with your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever your relationship, your parents, bring your parents. The whole new hour is about...
It's clean.
It's
cleanish.
It's if you can't handle this with your parents, you guys need to talk. You know, like it's a new hour all about family, all about my relation with my parents, and in the way that it's relatable to everyone. Just this weird, you know, like I check in with these people every day. You know, just this. It's all. I think it's really. I think if you know, it's funny because like there was one review that was like that thought the end was better than the beginning.
Okay.
And the end is all about...
When you say review, was this like a random person who DM'd you?
No. It was like some written review. My dad found it. He's like, here's a bad one. It wasn't bad. It told people to watch it. It was a good one. And but the ending is more kind of what I'm going towards.
Right.
Like the story about telling stories and having these characters and making it relatable. And so I'm doing that more than... You know, women, like I'm trying to be that more. So I'm going to be on the road. I'm coming to Colchester, Connecticut. I think I'm doing stand-up in a winery.
Ooh.
Like in the
fields?
In the vines.
In the vines?
Yeah, amongst the grapes. East Providence, Atlanta, Huntington. Seattle's like sold out. I think there's like single seats left.
Too late if you're in Seattle.
That's right.
It's over for you.
It's over. Charlotte. Philly, DC, Baltimore, Dania Beach, as we've gone over, in Florida, Portland, Arizona, San Diego, Boston.
Awesome.
That's what's going on. So, oversharing? What's going on with you?
Oversharing. We've got. I don't know if you guys have if I've talked about it on here. We've released meditations that are like specific for certain moments in your life. So like most meditations are just general, like breathe in, breathe out. These are like. We talk about your audience. Like these are for betches specifically.
Love it.
So it's kind of like we have one for your wedding day. How to like
on
your wedding day.
That is so helpul someone. Like
I could have used that on mine. I feel like I would have drank a little less earlier in the day, because you get so anxious. And I just feel like you pay so much money. There's so much, like kind of like this, like your day was for you. It's like there's so much build up, and then you become so anxious about everything going right. Mm-hmm. So the wedding day one, I'm really excited about because I feel like that was missing from my wedding day. We have one for putting on a swimsuit. Like before you're about to leave your house.
I mean, that's a hilarious one because I have a bit about that in the new hour.
In the new hour.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's very
like
relatable
talk,
to
I'm
me.
Sure,
Yeah.
Well, if you've seen Jared's new set,
you'll
and
know.
you relate, try out this one. We have
I
one
love this.
Yeah, they're just like 4 specific moments, so that there's almost like someone talking to you, like to calm you down and put you in a right mindset before you visit a family member that you don't like.
Love it.
I forgot what the other ones were. Before you before a first date.
First date.
If you're you're anxious. The things that would make a person in our world anxious. There's a meditation for that.
Can I add one?
Of course.
I want to add to the catalog.
We're gonna make some.
When you're upset that you're single.
Okay, I like that.
I'll do that one. And yeah, I want to be a part of this. This is great.
Oh, do you want to record with us?
Yeah,
Okay,
I just want a specialty like Jared
when you're feeling
gives you
down,
a pep talk.
yeah.
'Cause I've done that on TikTok where I go pep talk for single people. They're like my most watched TikToks.
Yeah, because people want to feel like they're like it's all gonna be okay.
Right. Like here's a perspective and try to make it a little bit, as funny as possible. Try to be funny, but
that's the thing. You want to make a serious topic. That's what we do on this show. We take a serious topic and we make it fun. We make it light. And speaking of that, we have a lightning round today.
Let's do it. I was so relieved to do I think it's time.
Yeah, we've been needing our lightning round. I feel like those are fun. People love those.
Quick, we're gonna go. We got 10 questions.
What a great way to end the summer.
It's a great way to end the summer. It's from you. If you're not following on Instagram, you're missing out. Because you're missing out on the opportunities to be part of the show. Like Candace we're getting these from the people, right? So you should follow u.up.tilde.
u.up.podcast. It just rolls off the tongue.
Just an easy breezy handle. You bring up TikTok. Can I talk some shit?
Of course.
You
want to talk shit about TikTok?
A little bit.
Okay.
Just the people who have blown up on TikTok, not very helpful to their fellow creators.
Why? What happened?
Just not a lot of reach out from the TikTokers to me. Not a lot of posting.
Well, they're like.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Candace, you're younger. Do you feel this, Jorge? It feels like that generation. Like it feels like because like Father Algorithm gives them their mana.
I feel like it's every man for himself on TikTok.
It does,
yeah.
and I kind of felt that and they'll act like they're community-ish, but it ain't.
It's cutthroat.
It is a little because honestly, when something pops off on TikTok, it's not via so and so reposted me ever. It's the algorithm did it because I was chosen. I'm the
algorithm's
alien.
the only one that cares about you.
That's the only one that they respect. What do you think, Candace? You're a lot. Please disagree with me. I'm in shit talkville.
I don't have that much to disagree with because TikTok is its own world. But like with every phase with the socials, like with YouTubers, there was like that group. With Vine, there were like the Vine kids.
Yeah.
So it gets
I think maybe
more and more Mean Girls like.
I don't want to be rude to you, but do you think it's because you're like old for them?
Excuse
you're an old.
me?
Do you think they just think of you like
an elder?
You're not. No, I'm just saying.
Me?
Like you're not the one who's like you're not going on the like Tarte trip. Right? Like, I don't know if they think of you as in their community.
Yeah. Jorge, do you have an opinion on this? Maybe I'm willing to be wrong, is what I'm saying.
I'm not that tuned into the TikTok community. Other people at Betches are. Please follow our TikTok.
I don't know. You don't feel. I didn't feel the love.
Jorge, what do you think?
I'm not really on social media that much. I don't even have TikTok on my phone. I don't find it very helpful to my daily life.
Right.
But I do think when you start hitting success, sort of a lot of jealousy just creeps in.
Right.
Even if people don't.
Look at me. I'm saying I guess I'm not jealous. I hope this doesn't sound jealous, but
No, but from the other side, you see someone else succeed, and in some way you're trying to explain why you aren't at that level, and that turns into like a negative association with that person, even though that person didn't do anything wrong, but it just like generates feelings of negativity.
that's a great point. And also I think when you see someone on social media succeeding, it looks like it was easy for them, right? And if you're trying to do the same thing, I think there's this feeling of like you don't see all the failures that happened before that to lead to that moment. So you just become a little like jealous and resentful.
And it's like I'm not even saying that I'm doing the same thing as a TikToker, but I guess views are views are views. You know, that if you're living in that world, I don't know. It's an interesting like societal thing that I noticed. I was like, you know, because I'm getting so much good. I'm like, you know, my dad has this thing when on the holidays, like if, you know, or on Father's Day, I'll call in the morning and he'll be like, okay, you're checked off the list.
That's funny.
You know, like if you got
birthday.
the call on his birthday, check you off the list.
I love that.
Yeah, I kind of had that in my mind of like, oh, look who posted. Look who didn't.
It's on your, you know,
on my list.
Well, just that's like your wedding gift list.
Right.
Jorge, I'm sure you had one of those. You never forget who didn't get you a wedding gift.
Wow.
I think.
Did I get you a gift?
You did get me a gift.
I forget giving wedding gifts a lot. I've been that person.
Okay. Well, people don't forget. Well, it's kind of, well,
I'm
saying
that guy forever to them.
But you just said these people are those people forever to you.
You're right.
I guess
maybe I should be
Jorge,
kinder.
Now I'm embarrassed because Jorge is not as petty as me. He doesn't have he doesn't have an Excel sheet.
We just asked for people to give us money for our honeymoon, so it wasn't like this thing that I'm constantly reminded of.
Right, but did anyone not give you money for your honeymoon?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Jorge just week after week proves
Just
he's a better person.
That's embarrassed. Every week it's more embarrassing for him.
I'm like, I won't date a teacher. I won't,
Next
do
week
this.
he's going to be volunteering.
Yeah, come on, Jorge, do less.
Stop it.
Cut this out. Let's go to the lightning round. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll jump right in.
26 minutes.
Yeah, we're not bad.
Yeah.
But it's a lightning round day. It's like, it's like when you had like, Carnival Day.
Exactly.
It's
we're fucking around.
Carnival. Did you have Carnival Day like at school, Candace?
It's still over 100 degrees in Arizona right now.
Well, not today. I'm just saying this is like where we go off the rails a bit.
We had water day because it was so hot that
water
we couldn't
day
play recess otherwise.
Oh, like a
Arizona's a
water
sad
park.
place.
Like a water park?
No, they'd bring like a hose out.
What?
Okay.
And sprinklers.
So low school taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Gilbert, Arizona.
There we go. What up, Gilbert?
Yeah, that's a high tech, innovative school grounds.
Listen, on a hot day, I would take a hose.
Just get the hose.
Oh my God. What I would do right now, I'm sweating booze. I had
Next time we'll hose you down.
please. No one on the YouTube, like everyone just turns off the YouTube. No, we don't want to see that.
Forget it. All right, let's do it. All right,
Let's do
ready?
it.
Okay. How to disclose to parents that you are dating someone from a different race or religion. And then also another 1A. Can it really work with someone that has different political views?
We really jumped right in, huh?
Yeah.
We get right into the hard-hitting topics. Why don't you put all the different options in front of them? And you go all the races
they wouldn't like.
Yeah, like all the religions, all the political parties.
Order.
Yeah, you put them in order of what you would like. Like you put them like on little boxes and you write them on them. And you go, hey, mom and dad, I want you to put in order the best version of my significant other to my worst version.
Yeah.
And you have them rank them, and then you'll be like, look at this isn't so bad.
Then you rank them, and then you tell them who you're dating, and then you cancel them for even answering the list of
right. Take
ranking.
A picture. Now you have something on them.
Right.
And they're like, well, we're mad about who you're dating. You're like, well, I'll release this picture to the neighbors.
Exactly.
Then we'll get.
That's the way. This is all the way to go. That's my advice. So.
What a crazy solution that actually would work.
Yeah. I mean, how to disclose is an interesting question. In terms, like verbally, I would say.
Right. Races, religions.
Yeah.
It is interesting that there's like so many different versions of a person that your parents just would be like weird.
Well, the thing is, people, I guess, like a lot of people tend to date people like them.
Right. Well, or they're even more back in the day, so to speak.
For sure.
Because also, if we think of this like without emotion, we just think of like what you're saying, like people date someone who looks like them, but same, your grandparents had the options. Your options were smaller.
Right.
To their family and neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And then your parents, their options were family, neighborhood, place they went to college that might be far away from home. People didn't leave the nest as far as they do now. Today, you're on a dating app. The world is your oyster.
Right.
So I guess to give empathy to this parent who might get mad, you're really trying to show them something that they fear, and it's the unknown.
Right.
You know, so so to give, maybe we make something more known to them. You know, I don't know how you do. I don't think you have cultural appreciation day. I don't know what you do.
Well, I think it's like you said, if you think about why they'd be upset, it's a fear of theirs, the unknown. I think about myself. I think about religion, right?
Mm-hmm,
What is my parents' fear around the unknown? That I'm going to have no culture from them. That I'm going to lose the Jewish culture. That I'm not going to do anything. And so, I think part of it is sort of reassuring that person that you do value if it's a religion thing. I think if it's a race thing, that's sort of a different question. But I think if it's like a religion thing, there's usually something there around wanting to make sure that your traditions, that these kids that you raised are doing the traditions you raised them in.
Right. You're going to recognize the grandkids that that we have. They're going to recognize you and where they came from.
Right. And also because sometimes a rejection of or picking marrying someone of a different religion can feel like a rejection of of your parents, because they raised you in a certain way to do a certain thing and you're doing something else.
Right.
So I can understand why it would feel like, so I would address that. I think that helps, especially if you're I'm dating this person. This person treats me very well. I love this person. And if you know your parents well, you probably know what their fears are. And I think getting ahead of that and addressing those fears is probably the way to go, to make them feel like they are being understood. Mm-hmm. And then, some parents will not like someone of a different race or religion, and that's kind of their problem.
Right.
At the end of the day.
If they won't make the effort for you, then you have to wonder,
how much do they really care about your happiness?
Right.
Right.
And I think that's the big thing where you go to them. I think if let's slow play this. I think understand that you go to your parents first, you go, hey, this is what's coming. I need you to and I need you to be happy for me. I'm so happy. Letting them know how happy you are is the first thing.
Right. And if they're good parents, in my mind,
right,
that will be their number one concern.
Right. And then saying to them, hey, I need you to open up your mind a little bit. You I guess that's the wrong way to go, because you don't want to I think accusations before they're given a chance to be pieces of shit,
right,
is not going to help you.
Well, that's why I'm saying I would say, I know you're probably afraid of XYZ.
Right. Or I wouldn't even say that. I am happy. Okay. Let's just, I think let's start in positive, where you're giving them a chance to be pieces of shit.
Right.
And
yeah, so maybe they're happy. Maybe they don't care.
I'm happy. I'm dating someone new. Here's a picture. Here's their background. Here's what's going on. They're going to go in whatever direction. Maybe they go amazing. Maybe they surprise you.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to go with most things, where
just
you
act
have an assumption.
As if there's nothing even to say.
What's there to say? I'm so happy. Start with I'm so happy, because that's all they should care about.
Right.
I'm so happy I met someone.
Yeah. And that goes for anything: race, religion, whatever, sexuality.
Right.
I
am so again. Right, I give them enough rope to choke themselves with. That's let
them dig their own grave.
Right, so that you go, I'm so happy. Which is all, and I just told you. And if they get weird, you go, I just told you I'm happy. What is it? What are you talking about? Be surprised. What? You're those people? You're the bad guys in the movie?
Right. It's a weird look. It's a weird look for you.
Right. Let's do another one.
I think the one about political views.
Oh,
is a 1A, which I guess is somewhat different.
Oh, can it work? I think it can. I'd like to think it can, but I think the word that comes to mind is extreme. I don't think it can with extreme, but where do our views not?
Right. And I think that's sort of with everything, differing of anything. If you're on the spectrum, let's say you're on the spectrum of political views, someone who's super conservative, I don't think is gonna really ever get along with someone who's super liberal,
Right.
especially if that's a big part of their life, because that's going to be, that's a big part of who they are. Then if someone's like has different political views, they're not that into politics, and maybe they're somewhere closer to the middle, I think it could work because it just won't come up as much.
Right.
Right.
It's funny. It's like the only way I could see it working is if you're unhealthy. Like you get off to the fighting, like having the argument. But then you're like, if they go to the arena and joust,
Right.
and then they can walk away from it forgetting.
Well, it's
I don't know
different.
if you can forget these days.
Political views
it's,
can-
now it's different,
I think political views can feel a lot like your values, right? And so in that way, it's like if you have different values than someone, can you have a successful relationship? It's harder.
Right.
I think it's harder. I think it depends how intense your political views are.
To me, if you're like, the intensity matters.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying, I guess like I'm not someone who's talking politics every day, and if someone was like talking about it every day, I'd be like, I don't know.
That wouldn't be a match for
it
you
wouldn't be a
anyway.
match
That's what I'm
for me.
saying. Even
So-
if even if they were the same political views that you had, I still
Right.
think it wouldn't be a match for you.
Right. And so when they ask, can it work? Can it? Anything can work. I'm sure we could find an example with two opposing political ideals or value, or
Right.
someone who cares, someone who doesn't care. I'm sure any match we could find. But I don't think when you see on a dating app, oh, I am this. I think even putting it on a dating app means they care about it more than I would ever want to care about it.
Right. So it wouldn't be a match for you.
It wouldn't be a
maybe.
match
Yeah.
for me. So yeah.
I think like the stronger you feel about it, the more important it is to have someone who sees the world the same way as you.
Yeah.
If you don't feel that strongly, some people are not that interested in talking about, like for you, I think like you could date someone who had differing political views because you're not talking about it that much.
I guess right, but I even that I'm like, I hear that I'm like, I don't know, I want them to live in reality.
Right.
Like,
Well, I'm saying it depends
like-
how strong, how like what. I think you can disagree on some things, like you can, just like anything else. Like you can disagree on some stuff. It's more like how respectful are you of someone else's opinion.
Totally. Yeah, I agree. It's we're put at the pulpit to talk about this, and like I can feel that someone being like, well, how could you? It's so. How could you not care? Like it's like an opinion, which I understand, but it's like, can it work? Sure. But I agree with you. It's like
It's harder.
It's harder, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
it doesn't
you got to
mean-
feel respected. That's where political discussions go to disrespect these days a lot. So
Right. Well, it can feel like a stance on morality,
right.
which is a bigger deal.
Let's do another one.
Okay, let's do another one.
Let's do it. How do you tell someone they're a selfish lover?
Well, I wouldn't say it like that.
Buy them a T-shirt.
Well, I like to bring it back to question one. I think you start out in a positive way.
Okay.
I would love it if you did this.
Right. The direction of the conversation and not, you don't like my pussy. That was aggressive. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But
We don't have any special sponsored segments today.
No,
We're gonna-
no
you can say it as much
sponsors.
as
We
you
can say
want.
whatever we want. T-shirt that says "selfish lover" on it got you a gift,
Right.
and they're wearing the T-shirt. What is this?
I'm with selfish lover.
Yeah, you get to wear the
Yes,
T-shirt.
yes.
Well, that's a good way to put it. Like you say, I would love it.
If you did right. Yeah.
Stay in I terms, not you never lick my pussy is no good. I would like my pussy licked. Good.
There you
You
go.
never suck on my balls. Bad. I would like my balls sucked.
It would be so hot if you.
It would be so hot if you sucked my balls.
Well, it's like, how do you ask anyone to do anything in real? If you had a roommate
Right.
who you felt like was
Well-
acting, if you had a roommate who felt wasn't contributing, what would you say?
I would really like it if you, my roommate, would suck my balls.
I would appreciate it if you could get the toilet paper. I would love that.
I think also curiosity is better than accusations.
Right.
I think like first saying and doing it, I think in the act, like if you're like kissing
I would
each
start
other,
there. Yeah,
like,
I would appreciate it.
you never lick my balls. Yeah, no. Or but
I
you're
want
like,
you to do this.
right,
Like, in
like,
the moment
oh,
is like right.
It's so hot when you kiss my neck. It's you know what I would love is when you suck my balls. No, I'm just
Well, I mean,
right. It's make it fun.
yeah.
I had an instance a week ago where I was at Soho House, as I'm known to do.
Okay.
Famous Jared,
Yes.
Netflix free. This is what I do.
No paparazzi there.
Yeah, I like that they keep the paparazzi away. I like that, the peasants can't get in without a membership. These are things I like in my life now that I'm a Netflix guy. Here, I'm there. I ordered chips and guac, and there was a pit in the guac.
Oh wow.
There was the guac pit.
That should get a Yelp review.
Well, I'm missing a quarter of the guac.
Yeah.
It's taking up space in the bowl.
Yeah.
And I am a ravenous eater. So I was like,
You stuck your hand in the pit,
and I threw it at the waitress.
as you do.
Do you know who I am? as I do. So I just thought it was funny that there was a pit in it. Like I was like, this is weird. It wasn't that I was mad.
It sounded like you wanted a little more guac.
I just think I was like, there was an option.
Pay good money to be there.
That's right. There was an option to say, hey, there's a pit in my guac. Or what I opted for, and it was a very Jewish thing, a judgment question.
Okay.
But it's curious.
I'm
giving them a chance. Just like the racial discussion, the religion discussion.
Let me give you a chance to correct.
Let me give you a chance to be amazing. Hey, I look at the waitress. I go, hey, there's a pit in the guac. I'm just wondering, is this how you guys do it here? and
not in a way where not in a tone where it sounded like you knew that's not.
I thought it was like a chef's decision. This is an aesthetic.
Okay.
It's like when it comes out.
Did you actually think that, or were you just trying to make her feel?
This is how my mom asks questions.
Okay.
There are judgments in the questions.
Okay.
Is that what you're wearing? That's my mom.
Right.
Not put on this. Is that what you're wearing? Yeah. I guess that is what I'm wearing.
Supposed to be here?
Right.
All right. Okay.
So she goes. The waitress looks at me. She goes.
You should have said, I almost choked on it.
I was practicing sucking on balls. So, she looks at it and she goes, "Well, the pit keeps it fresh, keeps it green."
Oh,
and I go,
she didn't bite.
She didn't bite.
Okay.
And then she goes, you could put lime juice on it and that keeps it green and the pit keeps it green. And I go, oh, okay. And then she walked away and I was like, how long do they think I'm going to take to eat this guacamole? Like, it's not a 10-hour. I'm going to eat it in 30 seconds. The idea that it's going to go brown in the time that it didn't make sense. And then she came out 5 minutes later with a whole new guac and chips. Okay. Pitless.
Okay.
So
did she admit her?
She goes, we got you another one. I didn't like.
No owners. That's annoying.
Right. It was a little annoying.
She's trying to pretend like there was never an issue.
Did you a favor.
Yes. But it's like, it's only a favor if you admit that you fucked up.
Right.
Or it's not even a favor. It's sorry about that.
Right. And someone was, honestly, it maybe keeps it fresh. Maybe you made the guac 8 hours ago in the back and that's why it's in there.
I've never heard of someone leaving a pit in.
I have. They do it, but you do that when you bring a gallon Ziploc bag, to a barbecue. Super Bowl party. Yeah. That's when you put the pits in, and supposedly it's an old wives' tale that it keeps it green. And a food scientist messaged me. They were like, "It's not a thing." They were like, "We."
Food? No, you've gotten the food scientist involved.
Listen, they said they were. Okay. That's a good way to get in the DMs. Hey, I'm a food scientist. What? Really?
So why didn't the second one have a pit in it then if she got a...
Well, then I was like, oh, well, thank you. I was appreciative. But this is all to say, like, I think if you're with, your lover and you're like, how, and you start at, I would love it if you went down on me. And then you go, later in the day, they don't do it. You go, hey, I'm just wondering. Why don't you go down on me?
Yeah.
That takes like the air out of it, the aggression out of it.
If to say it in the right tone.
It's got to be, not why
So,
the
I
fuck
would
don't
say-
you go down on me?
Tone is half of all of these things.
Totally
And that's
true.
why it's so much better to say it in person for any like anything. Any
Hey, honey, why don't you lick my balls?
Right. Is there something off with your tongue?
Is it my
Is
balls?
it okay?
Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Do I smell?
You could make it about you.
Yeah. What's going on? I'm curious. Not,
Right.
because the whole, then no one wants to be told.
No one wants to be yelled at or
Yeah.
or criticized.
Right. We're working together to make this orgasm.
Right.
We're a team.
Yeah.
How do we get to Orgasm
Here's
City?
what I would love. What would
Right.
you like?
What would you
Oh,
like?
I'm already doing that. Here's what I would like.
You ever been with a selfish lover?
Yeah. I would
Yeah.
say more when I was younger. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think like you said, you've got to ask for what you want. I don't think I think as a younger dater, I didn't have the confidence to ask.
It's hard. It's hard. It's awkward.
Have you ever been with a selfish lover?
It's harder to call it that as a man, I think.
Because you kind of get off most of the time.
Yeah, like it's pizza. And I think we're not male sexuality.
You've been with someone who doesn't give blowjobs? I know a lot of girls don't. I'm sure you.
A lot of girls don't.
I think a lot of girls don't. Yeah. Women don't. Sorry.
Women. No, I don't speak to those people.
Okay. You can spot them a mile away.
Right. Listen, I don't think I'd be able to introduce them to my parents.
Okay.
Hey, this new girlfriend, by the way, she doesn't blow men. How could you?
Is that what your mom would say?
That would be, they're horrified. Let's do another one.
Okay. How do you know your boyfriend is the one?
Jordana, you are married.
Yes.
You are
I mean,
a homeowner with your husband.
we have a mortgage, as
You have a
as we were
mortgage?
reminded in your special.
Yes, you have a mortgage. Was there a day? Was there a moment where you go, that's my guy? Do you have a memory of like a feeling?
Well, I mean,
this is a hard thing to.
I've talked about the one before and how I
Right.
don't really believe it in the one. I think the one is is sort of like a delusional, like thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I guess it changes when you go. I agree with you.
Yeah.
How do you know? I'm looking for the one is different than how do I know I'm with
Right.
someone who could be that for me the rest
Right.
of my life?
Because to me, the one is like, I'll never meet anyone. I would never possibly meet anyone as good of a match for me as this
Right.
person, which I think is untrue for almost everyone. Like, there's many people out there.
But I agree with you. But there's the
But
way
there's
I'm
an
looking
idea
at
of like,
how do
this person is a great match for me.
right.
We align on so many different things. This feels so comfortable. I love this person very much. And like, there's a sense of safety for me. It was, I think it differs based on every person. Like what makes you feel like, you think you've talked about this too before. It's like, what feels like home?
Right.
What feels like a level of comfort? And I think it's people have like, they think there's like these, like one big moment, but it's really just like a bunch of little things.
Right.
I think that just make you feel like, this is someone that I get along so well with and I could be with forever.
Right. And also, are you willing to go away from the alternative?
Right.
Like, are they better than the alternative that without them?
Yeah. What is life like without them?
Right. I think that's something to think about. I have that thought a lot of like, especially as someone who's okay in my life. Like I enjoy my life. I enjoy
Right.
my work. I enjoy my friends. I enjoy my family. I could go on vacation alone and have levels of good and bad times, but I'm generally okay. And does this person make it better than it is now?
Yeah.
I think that's something that like,
And adding to my life, making me more
Right.
happy.
yeah. And I think that's something at a later age, like I don't think I think it's a different thing when you're 25.
Right.
You're like, oh, there's a little bit more partnership. Could I grow with this person? Do I
Right.
see us as the
Well, now it's like you have your life.
right?
Could they make it even better?
Right.
Right.
I think there's an evolution as you get older.
Yeah. But I also think people think of like marriage as its own magical thing. Like, you wouldn't be like, how did you know your job was the one? It's like, my job is something that I love and I like doing it, but like, you know, I could if I got fired tomorrow, like I would find a different job.
And also your job is also what you make it. You know, the corollary is like,
so is your relationship.
So it's like, you don't, you know, when you signed up to do accounting, and then you're like, well, I want to go in the direction of being a personal accountant. And, I want to specialize in, you know, being a personal accountant for a certain industry because I enjoy that. I think that's the same for your relationships. I want this relationship, and then I want this relationship to be the one that does these things.
Yeah.
I want the that goes camping and has kids, or has no kids and goes on vacations to, you know, beachfront resorts. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, are you planning with them in mind?
Yeah.
As part of the whole thing.
Are you growing together?
Yeah.
You said.
Yeah. Would
Do
I
you want the same things?
Right. I mean, that's a tough question.
Well, I think it's like, honestly, I mean, it's a good question, but it's also a stupid question.
Right.
Because I just think the concept of the one just seems like,
do you think
sort of like a fairy tale?
Well, do you think some would say, if you're asking, there's your answer?
Like, you don't know?
If you don't know, then it's never going to happen. Like, if you're dating someone, you're like, how do I know if they're the one?
Maybe. But also, like, you could also just have a very skewed, romanticized, unrealistic view of relationships. There are people who are like, I want every single thing out of this one person.
Right.
And I think that that's not the way to look at relationships, because you can't expect to get every single one of your needs fulfilled by one person. That's unrealistic.
Right. But I think also you're saying, it's funny that you hear, am I with the one, you think of a romantic person. I'm kind of thinking of like a mathematical person. Like, hey, I'm doing the numbers here. Okay. How do I know this person is making, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, am I really living in reality where there's not like a better equation out there? I don't know. And you go, well, if you're asking, then you're really concentrating on not the relationship. Like, maybe you're not even together with this person.
Right. Or you want to kind of like just win or get it right.
Right. I think of past relationships sometimes, and I'm like, oh, we both were like, we were dating, but we all had our own goals, and those weren't intertwined.
You didn't like share the same vision, you're saying.
Right. And I wasn't letting that person in to do that. That's what makes you closer.
Right.
So it's like, when you get into this, are they the one? Are you like just testing them all? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you're letting someone in, if you're looking at it that way.
Right. I could see what you're saying. So you're sort of saying, like, do they click into like whatever this thing is, or as someone's looking at it as that's the one, versus are you, you know, is it like a team effort towards a particular goal, which is, again, not always in sync. I think that's another thing people don't realize.
Right. Yeah. We're in like, this is like dating theory.
Right. Well, it's just kind of like, I just think there's a sense of like, the one is like perfection, or in dating, there's this expectations of, they're like expectations of perfection, or else like I'll find someone else. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that is like a healthy way to do it either.
Here's what they need to ask them. Do you lick my balls?
There you go. You'll find out that way.
Let's do another one.
What are the best dating app prompts in your opinion?
Ooh, okay. I like this one. Do we have the list of prompts? Because we'll go with Hinge. Hinge seems to be...
I'll start with the ones I remember.
Okay.
2 truths and a lie.
Hate it.
Hate it.
Hate it.
You said this in dating app makeovers.
It's just, I got to play this game. What am I on? The Price is Right? Like, I don't know, like... And then you guess and you go, got it right. I think it's like a, I don't know. What if and then the lie always is weird. I don't know. It doesn't really, here's what I like about 2 truths and a lie. At least you're being personal.
Right.
With the 2
there's something to grab onto.
Right. There is something to grab. I changed my opinion. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. I would suggest people do it as long as you're speaking in I statements and they're fun.
Okay.
You know, because, if someone says the wrong one, do you have a way of turning this into no, but I actually that like how do you I want prompts that continue a conversation, not just answer a question, you know?
You want something to hold on to, like an improv. Like
right. If mine was, I have one leg longer than the other.
Okay.
I ate 7 chicken fingers last night, and then I went to the moon.
Okay. I know which one is the lie.
Right. Right. But I guess 7 chicken fingers last night. Where'd you get them?
Right.
Well, those are fun. That's a fun
almost
combo.
a lie that's obvious, so you
Right.
can have fun with the truths.
The way to win me over is. Do you like that one? Oh, do you like Two Truths and a Lie? I'm sorry.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. I
Right.
agree. It's like I don't really want to play a game right now. I don't know you yet.
Yeah, I gotta play. Right, I gotta play your Squid Game. Get out of here. Okay, the way to win me over.
Okay.
That's a prompt.
Oh, sorry.
Hermes,
way to win me over.
this has won me over.
I think if you've got a fun answer, that's fine.
The way to win me over. Here's how it's fun. Make it personal.
Yeah.
The way to
Bring
win
me 17 chicken nuggets.
Right.
Whatever.
I name the I guess name. Bring me a specific sauce with my chicken nuggets.
Sure. Yeah. Even
You
better.
know? My simple pleasures.
No. I think those lead themselves to very basic travel, it's coffee, whatever. Like I think
I'm with
unless
you.
you get really specific, which doesn't sound very simple.
Right. And my simple pleasures always goes into the land of like a man holding a door open for me. It gets very regal right away.
Right.
Don't like it.
I go crazy for same kind of thing. Only the together we
Licking
could.
my balls. No, I go crazy for it. No, I don't like it.
Together we could.
Hate it. Hate it.
You don't want to be together yet.
Yeah. No, and it always goes into, we could go to the Grand Canyon and take a picture. It always goes into poetry. Okay. And I hate that.
I mean, it sounds poetic. My
Yeah.
most irrational fear
Love it.
is
Love it.
is a commitment.
You not licking my balls?
There you go. You can make it.
I
can
do
it for all
really
of these.
anything, yeah.
We'll get along if.
You lick my balls. I'm looking for someone to lick my balls. This year, I really want to
Get my
have my
balls
balls
licked.
licked. Typical Sunday. Usually someone comes over and lick my balls. A life goal of mine, having my balls licked. My greatest strength.
You should try
making
this for a
noises when
week.
someone licks my balls. I'm really impressing myself. Dating me is like licking a ball.
All right. So look at all of these. Which one is your favorite?
Unusual skills, licking, getting my balls licked. I'm cracking myself up. Everyone thinks this is annoying. I'm sorry. Okay. I would say, I won't shut up about. I like that.
Okay.
The one thing you should know about me is if you make it personal and fun. I hate. I bet you can't.
Okay.
I hate that one because it usually goes in, I don't want to be, this idea that someone's like negative and like, yeah, you want to stay positive. Dating me is like always bad. Right. I've never seen a good version of that one. A life goal of mine is good if you keep it fun, not I want to find my CEO, like get out of here.
Agreed.
Unusual skills is fun. Because that's personal.
Yeah.
I hate first round is on me. Let's not bring money into this.
Savu.
It's just like, have some class. I'm weirdly attracted to.
I don't like I'll fall for you if. It's a little too quick.
Hate that.
Okay,
That's
so you have to pick one. Let's say you had to pick one, your favorite.
What if I told you that?
Okay.
What if I told you that and then you tell something specific,
something funny or interesting,
and fun about yourself?
I won't shut up about is also.
Or
good.
I like both
good.
of those.
Okay.
So voice prompts are trending a lot. What do you think?
If you've got a great voice, go for it. If you don't, it can only deter.
To me, though, here's the problem. People go into voice prompt voice. Hey.
What's your voice prompt, please?
Hey, everybody. I would really enjoy it if you wanted to lick my balls.
I'm sure that would go well for you.
No.
I wind up on
right.
Sex predator list.
Yeah, right. Get me taken off a hinge in 2 seconds. I think I actually disagree on the like good voice, bad voice. It's your voice.
I guess, but there's like it's kind of like if you've got it, flaunt it. I think it's like if you know you've got a great voice.
But every time it's a great voice, I think they're trying too hard to show me they have a great voice. Like I think like the way we're talking now, like we're just talking.
So you think no to voice prompt?
I think you don't. I don't think no to, if you got something to say, I don't know.
What do you say in it? You just answer one of the prompts?
You answer a prompt with the voice thing. It would be interesting if the whole thing was voice prompt. Like if you couldn't write, you had to do voice prompts because then at least everyone's on the same. Here's the thing. When you do a voice prompt, you're going against people where the imagination is allowed to go. Mm-hmm. So like you've lost the illusion a little bit because everyone else is, when you connect with someone, if you think someone's attractive, and I think no voice prompt. And it's talked about in the special.
Right.
The whole Darlene joke is really about the person you are when you're at home versus the person you are when you meet someone out in the wild. And when you meet someone out in the wild, it's way rarer to go, I couldn't date their voice.
Right.
That's true. When you're at home, it's really easy to go, fuck this voice.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's why I'm saying I think they can only be detrimental.
Right.
Unless you have an amazing voice.
Right. And even then, you're going to find people that go, like I just said, fuck that voice. That person's trying too hard.
That's true. Okay. So then we err on the side of no.
Yes.
How do I maintain a healthy relationship when my partner is unemployed?
We gotta start cooking dinner. We gotta start pulling back. No more dates. I don't know. How do I maintain a healthy relationship with my partner who's unemployed? I think you gotta ask questions that don't. It's hard because I would assume, how's the job search? Would annoy the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
How we doing?
I think you want to be like encouraging.
Right.
Right. Here's the thing. That's an interesting way to find out how someone deals with adversity.
Right. And here's what I would say to this person. It's funny they ask, like, how do you maintain a healthy relationship with someone who's unemployed? You also have to believe in their vision.
Right.
If you don't believe in their vision, you have to have a talk. That is the relationship. Mm-hmm. And that's a little bit tough to admit. To be like, if Mike left his job and was like, I want to be a handyman.
Right.
Yeah,
I would have to align with that. I would have to see it as part of our life.
Right. And you go, and you're married. So this person, well, I'm not married. But if you don't believe in the vision, you're not really attracted to them. Like you're with someone that you can find out is delusional.
I pictured this more as the person got fired.
But if you get fired and the person, and you go, well, what's the plan? And they go, I got no plan. I'm not saying the day they get fired.
Right.
You take some time, but there's a point where you go, what are your thoughts? What's the direction here? Let's go. Come on.
You both have to be aligned on it so that you can support them for real.
Right.
Because if you don't align on the vision, you're not going to be that supportive.
Right. Right. And you're not going to like them.
Right.
I remember the pandemic when we went into quarantine, and it was like, especially in comedy, people are like, I can't get on stage anymore. And it's like, okay, what's the deal? What are we going to do? And I was happy with the way we did it and the way we go, okay, we're Zoom, let's go. My other podcast, I was like, I'm going daily. I got a plan. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do daily because I'll be the only thing doing live entertainment every day. I'll do a little tiny podcast to try and, I don't know. I was like, where's the opportunity here?
Right.
And I could see someone being like, I don't know, what the fuck? This is what you're going to do? And being like, that's crazy. Or I could see someone going, wow, okay, cool.
Right. Or even just the fact that you were like hustling, I think is like sort of, that's what I'm saying about you get to sort of see how the way someone handles like a curveball thrown at them.
Sure.
And sometimes you don't like the way someone reacts to that. And that's, the earlier you can see that in someone, almost the better.
And that's where they ask about healthy, not healthy. Mm-hmm. Healthy is talking about that plan and then being okay with letting them know that I think that plan isn't the right way to go, but I'm here to support you. And then checking in with that plan to say, okay, maybe I was wrong. Mm-hmm. That was the right way to go. Or, hey, I'm getting turned off that the longer you don't see this is the right way to go.
And sometimes then you like find out that the person isn't a good match for you. And it doesn't necessarily mean one person's right and one person's wrong. It could just mean like, this isn't, the more opportunities the way you get to see the way people handle all sorts of different things. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why it's important to date for a while before you get married. It's like, then you get to see them in this scenario and that scenario. Right. And then it sounds like
the different Barbies.
Sounds negative, but you get more opportunities to judge the way they handle things.
Right. You get to see Rosh Hashanah Barbie.
Yeah.
New Year's Barbie. Summer Barbie. Yeah.
See if it aligns with the way you would do things.
Lost my job Barbie.
Yeah. I mean, the pandemic was, how many breakups did we see in the pandemic and lockdown, right?
Right.
You see someone in that circumstance and you're kind of like, I don't know if I like this version of them.
It is really funny that we hear like, how do I keep a healthy relationship with my unemployed significant other? We're like, breakup's coming.
No, I don't think breakup's coming. I think it's kind of like you could also be really impressed with the way that someone handles something.
Absolutely. It can go both ways.
Right.
As we saw, let's do another one.
Is there a good way to balance who pays for sharing finances when you've dated for more than a year?
I've always been bad at this.
Okay.
Dating more than a year.
Oh,
no,
I don't think there's a good way or a bad way. I think there's a way that works for both people. Mm-hmm. Like I think every couple I know does it a different way.
How did you do it? Because I liked the way you did it.
We got a credit card together when we moved in together.
Okay.
I think before that we would just kind of like take turns. Someone pays more or whatever. Yeah. We moved in together. We were buying furniture. We were like buying a lot of stuff and, it became a more serious relationship. And we got a credit card together and then we would just split the credit card bill at the end of the month.
Boom.
And that's kind of still what we do.
Right.
But now we have a joint bank account too, but still. Yeah.
What started that conversation? I think that's
we
the
need to buy a
part.
couch.
We have to buy a couch.
Yes.
How do we want to do this?
Yes.
Do we want to accrue points together?
Yes.
That's really...
Are we in the points game together?
Right.
Are we separate? Yeah.
I think that's a fun way because at least now we're in we get to get points. We're doing a positive thing. I think that's a good...
Right. And it almost makes the relationship a little more romantic because it doesn't feel like, it feels like you don't have to think about when the check comes.
Right. Throw down our credit card.
Yeah, it feels weird to like split a meal, I think, or if you go on a double date after a certain point, like when your finances are shared, it's just nice to...
Right. Take that away.
Yeah.
Nothing more sexy than being financially intertwined.
Hot. Yeah.
Let's do another one.
Okay. Can long distance work if you can only see each other every 3 months?
Yes.
You think yes?
Yes. But are you making a plan? Is there a plan? I think yes. And is there a plan for it to end?
That was my point that I was thinking. If there's no end date in sight, if it's inevitable, like in perpetuity,
right, then
I think no. There has to be like, we're doing this for now, but eventually our plan is X.
Right. And how do you see our future? Mm-hmm. I think that's a good question. How do you see it
how do you see this resolving?
How do you see this resolving? Let's go to imagination land. Even if you're like, he's got a job there, I got a job here, we just met, and we're trying, and we can see each other every 3 months. Okay, how would you envision us, the beginning of our second movie?
Right.
This is our first movie. You're in Sleepless in Seattle, and I'm, in New York. Great. We're having fun in this first movie. What's the second movie?
Right.
How do you see it happening? And that answer is going to show you the way of how they view the relationship, how they view you. And they're going to go, they're going to have some trouble. But, let's use your imagination.
Okay.
You write. I would do that. You write what you think on one paper. I'll write on another paper. And then we'll exchange. Tell me our story. I think that's a fun solution.
Fun.
Yeah, fun.
We should make a game. Long distance resolutions.
Is it rude to date if you aren't ready for a relationship?
I think it's not rude as long as you're upfront. I think it's not rude to do anything if you are clear with your intentions.
How quickly do you have to be clear? First date, you're hanging out, you're having a fun time. second date.
I think if there's anything that comes up that it alludes to, I had a guy who I remember said, like, yeah, on the first date he was like, yeah, I feel like we're so young, like it's crazy to be in a relationship right now.
Okay,
Which was like fine.
Good
It was
to know.
the first date, and
Yeah.
I was, he was an attractive guy, and I had a fun night, and then like I had to think like, okay, now this was a sign. You could some people choose to not listen when
Right.
people speak, which
You
is
have to
sort of
listen.
their
That's
issue. And I
their
remember
issue,
him
yeah.
say he said it in a fun way. It was
Yeah.
very much like we were having fun. It was a nice time, but he said that, and I didn't take it personally. It was our first date, and it was good to know that about.
And I'm
him.
sure you went home, and then if you were like, I need to go out with this person again, you'd probably say to him, hey, you've said something I got to like kind of check in with.
Right.
But you heard that and you go, I guess I like him, but there's no need to check in on this. I
Right.
don't need him.
Yeah, and I think that was a great way to say that on a first date.
Right. It is funny to say it, but I think, no.
He said, yeah, he managed to say it in a very. I thought it was almost like I respected it.
Yeah. Respect the game.
Right.
Yeah. It's great. No, I get it. Like, I think also, you have to know that you have to make sure your actions also align with your not readiness.
Right. That's
So-
that's what I'm saying. If you're like very clear and very and aren't deceptive with your actions, like
Right. And knowing that you with physical stuff, I just want to let you know this doesn't mean more to me.
yeah, which is a hard thing to say before.
Right.
Yeah.
Really hard. Because you might be really hard.
Yeah, but I think it's totally fine to date if
Yeah.
you aren't ready for a relationship. You just can't pretend that you are. And I would be more forthcoming than that.
Hey, and in the situation where you want to hang out with someone still, hey, I would love to go on the second date because I'm looking for someone like a form of companionship, but I don't think that form is going to end in us being in a relationship. But I'd still like to go out. They can say yes, no, or maybe.
Right. And if someone chooses not to listen to you, that is sort of their problem at that point.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's do two more.
How do I approach my boyfriend about his nose hairs? Out of control.
Well, you bring one of those right to his nose.
That's what I did.
Is that what you did?
That's what I did. I said, can you just
Lay back.
I said, can you just wait 1 second there? And then I went and I got tweezers. He said, what are you
For
doing?
his nose?
I said, "What-
Tweezers?
Tweezers. And then eventually he bought a buzzer. It was an in the moment thing. It needed to be taken care of.
Oh, that hurts. How many?
Do you know how much upkeep I do?
No.
It was like 2.
Like curling out.
It was if it's coming out, it needs to be taken care of. And if
In
you
the
have it-
moment.
Yes, and if you
I can't look at this. I
before
can't live this
before
way.
I take you out in
Yoink.
public. This is the double standard.
If I'm going to bring you to the cotillion.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think if once you get to I wouldn't have done that in the beginning, but I think once you get to a certain level,
Right.
Most men don't really care that I've encountered.
I don't think so. No. I actually enjoy it. Hey, lay back. I got to do something.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. I've had women where they pluck my eyebrows. Like I
yeah?
pluck my own eyebrows. I'm an eyebrow plucker.
You're a
Yeah.
strong, independent man.
That's right. Thank you for acknowledging me. But I've had women be like, wait a minute, I got to get these ones. All right.
You're
great.
never like insulted.
No. And, lucky for this person. Like, I don't think a man could do this. Hey.
Let me get that upper lip.
Right.
Let me wax that right off for you.
I think it's double.
It wouldn't work the same.
It wouldn't
but
work the
that's
same.
stereotypes of ours. Men are. It's less an insult to someone's whole self to be unkempt
Right.
as a man.
Societally,
Yeah.
we don't have to deal with these things, and that's why you can do this.
Right.
So, yeah. Hey, sit back.
Let me get you some nail polish. It's chipped.
Right. Ooh. We're not getting our nails done this week. You can't do that to your girlfriend.
No.
No.
But the other way around, I would say if he's your boyfriend, you just go get him. Don't have a discussion
Right.
about. I think you don't need to. We need to talk about your nose. Just get right in there. But you could buy one yourself.
Same way you'd get some poop off your dog's asshole. Give me that.
Give me that.
I just looked over at Candace and Jorge. They were horrified by that line.
I don't think they like the tweezers either.
No, this is this. Let's do one more.
Okay.
How to explain you need to talk every day without sounding crazy.
That's a good one.
I don't think it's crazy to have taste.
Yeah. I prefer When I'm seeing someone, I like to talk every day.
How about you just talk? I don't understand this like talk about the talk.
Well, maybe
hey, what's happening today?
They're not answering, I guess.
Hey, what's happening today? And then the next time you see them, hey, when you don't answer me, I like to talk, to check in with you every day. It really upsets me. Boom.
There you go.
We always solve dating
so
on these
easy.
lightning rounds.
I know.
It's really good for us.
I'm proud of us.
Isn't this amazing?
We did it.
We did it. If you're out there, if you like the lightning round, if you hate it, let us know. And keep, go follow the Instagram account.
Go check it out. It's at u.up.podcast.
Perfect.
Check it out and rate, review, and subscribe. Don't forget to do that.
Yeah.
Write us a nice review.
Go for it. Boom.
The U Up podcast is produced by Jorge Morales-Pico, Sean Kilby, and Candice Maniga. Editing by Jorge Morales-Pico and Shannon Sassone. Social media by Candice Maniga. Guest booking by Ali Friedlander. Be sure to follow at u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.